The following is a paid program by Pitt Community College. Welcome to Education on Call, the program that gives you free information about new career opportunities from Pitt Community College. Now here's your host, Mike Weeks. Thank you so much for joining us for this latest edition of Education on Call. Over the next half hour, we'll be answering a lot of questions you may have about career opportunities that result in high-paying jobs. Now, whether you may have recently lost a job due to a plant or business closure, perhaps you went to work right out of high school. You've been working for several years, and now you'd like to train for a new career, for a higher paying career. Or if you're a high school student or the parent of a high school student looking for college opportunities, stay tuned. You'll want to hear about our guests today and new careers at Pitt Community College that result in high-paying jobs. Let me introduce our guest today. Our first guest is Susan Nobles. She's the Vice President of Institutional Advancement at the college. And Pat Jackson. She's the instructor and administrator for the University Transfer and Biotechnology program. Ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
We're glad to have you here. We want to tell people a little bit about Pitt Community College. So Susan, tell us a little bit about the college, the students, and what we do there.
Well, Pitt Community College is a wonderful institution, Mike. It's almost 60 years old. We're the 6th largest community college in the North Carolina community college system. We're located in Winterville, North Carolina, but we have centers throughout Pitt County. Our designated service area is Pitt County, but about 60% of our students are from that county, and we have students from 92 counties in North Carolina.
Wow, attending Pitt Community College.
Attending Pitt Community College. We usually will serve about 20 to 22,000 students a year, and that's continuing education and curriculum students, and it's just a wonderful place to be. It's a great place for people to start their education or continue their education or to switch gears and start a new career.
We're going to talk a little bit about that. And Susan, I think it's interesting. Tell us what the average age of a student is at Pitt Community College.
Our average age of our students is 26.
Yeah.
Now, we serve a lot of people. Many students come to us directly from high school graduation, but then we have students who have lived a little. Maybe they've gone to another college, or maybe they've been working a while, or military, and then they decide, I need some technical skills to get a good job. So they come to us. And
we do have a lot of veterans and people that get out of the military. And it reminds me of a story that you were sharing with me earlier. You know, the foundation, which you're in charge of, is not only a friend-raising arm of the college, you're also a fundraising arm of the college. And the money that you raise, you use for student scholarships and student support. You had one young man that had just come back from Iraq, and you found out that he was taking classes at the college, but sleeping in his car. What did you do?
Well, you know, we have so many amazing students and we have so many stories. That particular student, we helped him immediately that day with some food. First of all, he came to me because he was hungry. Then he told me he was sleeping in his car, and we helped him for getting some lodging for a few days, and then helped him get advisors on the campus who could help him find a place to live. That young man has gone far. He continued his education at Pitt Community College and then went on and got an undergraduate degree at ECU and a master's degree. I have no doubt he's going to be a tremendously successful person. And we are veteran friendly at PCC, so it really pleased me that we could help him. Our foundation really is there to support the college, to support the student success, and to support the college's programs, help with buildings. But the main thing is we're there to make a good difference for our students, and we love it.
Wow, what a great story. I want to introduce Pat Jackson. And Pat, you work in the University Transfer and Biotechnology section, and we're going to talk about that in the next segment. But Pat, you've been with the college more than 20 years. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your great passion for teaching.
I have been with the college that long. I actually started as a grad student at ECU and started teaching on campus then. That was back in the 90s. And then became a full-time instructor. I went on and became a composition coordinator because my background is actually teaching English. I did that for about 10 years before I moved over to the University Transfer Department and I've been chairing that department for about 10 years.
Wow. And Susan, one of the things that is nice about Pitt Community College is we hear about colleges and universities with class sizes that are large, sometimes several hundred in an auditorium, but the class sizes are small and there's lots of personal attention. Can you tell folks watching about that?
That's right. Our classes average 20 to 25 students per class. Our instructor-student ratio is 20 to 1, actually.
Wow.
So it's a great place to interact with the instructors and to also interact with other students. Because let's face it, a lot of times the students learn a lot of things in the classroom, but they learn things outside the classroom with their fellow students. It's a great learning environment.
And one of the things that Pat's going to talk about when we talk about in her segment is the fact that not only do you offer degree programs, short-term training, but now through a number of agreements, we have opportunities where the classes that you take at community colleges and at Pitt Community College are the same that you would take at a college or university, the same credits. Yeah. Makes it a big advantage.
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm.
And Susan, tell us one more time about the foundation. How do you guys raise money to support the college?
Well, we work with individuals, organizations, corporations. We also have special events throughout the year. We have 2 annual events, one in the fall, which is a holiday show, and one in the spring, which is usually it's some sort of an auction and a banquet, and that's how we do it. But we are continuing to meet more people and to bring people on campus to see the campus, and we're working with individuals, and it's going great.
Now, we want to tell people that are watching today that anytime during the show that you may have a question and you would like to reach out, whether you'd like to ask a question of one of our guests, you would like more information about the college or one of the programs we're discussing, all you have to do is text on your mobile device PITTCC, PITTCC, to 51555. In fact, it's on the screen. PITTCC to 51555, and leave your information, and someone will get back to you within 2 business days. We've got a great segment coming up. We're going to talk about the University Transfer Program and Pirate Promise. So stay tuned. You're watching Education on Call. Welcome back to Education on Call, and we're pleased to have you here with us today. And right now we're going to talk with Pat Jackson. She's the chairperson for the University Transfer and Pirate Promise program. Pat, we just saw the commercial about University Transfer. There's something called an articulation agreement, but a number of years ago, they made it so that classes in the community college system would transfer, the credits would transfer automatically to any of the 16 colleges and universities within the university system. There are some limitations to that, but let's tell people, what is University Transfer and how does that work?
University Transfer is the program for students to start at the community college, where it's a lot cheaper and they get the same education, same courses they do at the university. So they can complete their first 2 years with us, freshman and sophomore year, and then easily transition right over to one of the universities and finish with their junior and senior year in their major.
Now, I think you said something very important, and I want us to repeat that.
Okay.
You take exactly the same courses your freshman and sophomore years at the community college in smaller classrooms, a more relaxed environment, and those credits transfer to any of the 16 state colleges or universities.
That's exactly right. Your freshman and sophomore year are your core classes, usually about 42 or 44 credits. So despite what major you're going to be in, you're going to take English, math, science.
The same ones.
And those are the exact courses that we're going to offer at PCC.
Wow. And it's quite a bit less to go to PCC and get those, or you could pay a lot more in the others. About how much do you save if you would go for 2 years and then transfer into a college?
At a minimum, we are about a third of the cost of universities.
Wow. So the parents that are out there watching, you know, it's, I'm not going to say it's a no-brainer, but it seems very attractive. Students, and particularly in Pitt County, around Pitt Community College, can go to Pitt Community College. They might stay at home or live in some off-site housing, but save an awful lot of money. And we're seeing more and more students do that.
We are. You know, last year over 10,000 students transferred from the North Carolina Community College system to the universities.
Wow,
So we're
10,000.
seeing we're seeing a great boom in students coming to the community college because they know they can get the same courses. They know they can pay so much less, and like you said earlier, a much smaller classroom size.
Pat, you've got a great program at PCC that I want you to tell people about. It's Pirate Promise. And this is a program where you take your first 2 years at Pitt Community College and you are automatically enrolled if you meet the certain minimum requirements as far as grades. You've got to pass your classes, but you transfer seamlessly into ECU as an example. Tell us about Pirate Promise, the particulars for the students out there watching and their parents. How does that work?
We are excited about Pirate Promise because what students do is they actually apply to PCC and ECU at the same time.
So do they do that in high school?
They can do that in high school. If students are already at the community college, they can still use this program and apply to ECU now while they're at Pitt. So either way.
When they're accepted, what happens?
When they're accepted, they're automatically actually accepted into ECU, but they're going to go to us for the first 2 years and graduate with PCC. And then when they do, they'll walk right over to ECU and finish the last 2 years.
Now, there are some other benefits if you are in the University Transfer Pirate Promise program. In fact, while you're at PCC, you're treated very much like you're an ECU student. Tell us those benefits.
I think that's exciting because our students can go on their campus, they can go to some of their events. They actually have private events where they'll invite the PCC students. They can get a one-stop card. You know, they can make a nice transition because they can talk with their advisors and their counselors. It is like they are an ECU student while they're with us.
So they have access to the library and other things there at the same time. And so it's kind of the best of both worlds. And, you know, one of the things that I hear parents talking about and students is the application process. It seems like they make endless applications to a lot of different schools. If you're into the Pirate Promise program, while you're in PCC, you don't have to fill out another application.
You're going to do it, that's right, at the same time.
Wow.
Exactly. And there's going to be no application fee to ECU.
None.
For our students.
Wow.
None.
Well, and that's the other thing that you hear parents talk about. All the application fees that we're paying and all the applications we're filling out. And the other thing that I think is impressive and that people need to really know about Pitt Community College is that you're always here to help.
Absolutely.
There's one-on-one. If you have trouble filling out an application or with a course, you're there to help. I want you to tell about one of the stories about your students, but I want to remind people that if anytime during the program you have a question about anything that we talk about University Transfer or Pirate Promise, you'd like to come on campus and take a tour or want to get more information, all you have to do is text the word Pitt CC to 51555. That's Pitt CC to 51555, and someone will get back to you within 2 business days. So we look forward to hearing about your questions and what you'd like to know. Pat, tell us, you have some great stories about students that have been in your program. Tell us one of those, please.
Kendall is the first student who comes to mind. I worked with him many years ago. I taught in Learning Neighborhood, actually, with my colleague, yes, Dr. Daltrey, and he was in an accounting class with him and English with me. And so we both worked with Kendall for his years at PCC, and he went on to ECU. He got his bachelor's degree, he got his master's degree, and now he's a practicing CPA.
Wow.
And he continues to talk with us. I talked with him just the other day, and he said to tell you his best part of a decision in his life was going to PCC.
Wow. Susan, I think it's interesting, too. How many alumni does Pitt Community College have?
We have over 300,000 alumni.
300,000 alumni.
That's right. And
wow.
Many of them live in Pitt County, but most of them live within 6 or 7 counties from Pitt County. So a lot of alumni, a lot of good alumni in Pitt County. And you know, Mike, a lot of people don't know this, but there are many Pitt Community College employees who are also alumni and proud of that.
Yeah, well, it's a great place to start. And now with the agreements to be able to transfer your first 2 years, gosh, and the savings, and you can attend in one of the classrooms, or we have online classes. Tell us a little bit about that, Pat.
Absolutely. All of our classes just about are offered online.
Okay.
Yeah, so a student can virtually work through the first 2 years with us online. There'll be a couple of times, perhaps with science labs or final exams, that they would be on campus. But it's amazing that they can do that much work full time, because like a lot of you said, a lot of our students are non-traditional students, and they can work full time, keep their jobs, and still go to class with us online.
And in the intro, I mentioned that, that we have students that right out of high school, maybe they've gotten married and started a family, and they start a career and they decide they want to get retrained. Or we have people that get into careers they don't like.
Yeah.
They're successful and they're making money and they decide they want to come back and do something else. As an instructor and someone that's passionate about teaching, what's your advice to anybody watching today that's hearing about these transfer programs and the ability to start at Pitt Community College and go on?
I think my greatest advice would be to start at a community college. I really wish that I had. I didn't. I went to a university in my undergrad, and I struggled like I see other university students struggle in those first coming in years, and such a big transition and a large campus, and allowing our students to move from high school into a smaller setting and like 7,000 or 8,000 students instead of about 20,000 students was the best decision, I think, for our students.
And as you can see from Pat talking with us today, Pat's very approachable. You would love to meet with anyone that wants the details of the program. We'd love for people to come on campus and take a tour. We'd like to show you around. We have a beautiful facility. We've got lots of instructors. We also have, if you start taking classes and you need some tutoring or some help, we have some assistance that's available. How does that work when students come to you?
Students coming to me is great when they come and ask about the free tutoring programs we have on campus. They can talk with me about that. They can talk with me about advising, or just problems or questions that they're having with instructors or with programs on campus, or following the classes they need. It is great that I can work with students in all capacities, as a teacher, an advisor.
That's terrific. That has to be very rewarding.
It is.
And we want to tell people once again, anytime during the program, if you would like more information, you'd like to contact Pat or talk with Susan or anyone at the college, use your smartphone and text PITTCC, PITTCC, to 51555. That's PITTCC to 51555. So we're going to take a little break here, and when we come back, we're going to tell you all about another very exciting program at Pitt Community College about biotechnology. You're watching Education on Call. Welcome back to Education on Call, and we have a special guest that has joined us. I want to introduce again Susan Nobles, the Vice President for Institutional Advancement, and our new guest is Christy Weeks, and she's the chairperson for the Biotechnology program at Pitt Community College. Christy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's tell people first, what is biotechnology as far as a program at Pitt Community College? What do you do?
So we train students to work in a laboratory as a lab technician or a lab analyst.
Okay, and let's talk about why that's important. There are a lot of pharmaceutical companies, not only in North Carolina, but specifically in Eastern North Carolina, that want your graduates.
Yes, there's a high demand right now for lab analysts. Every drug that gets manufactured has to be tested for both safety and efficacy, and our students run all kinds of tests on these drugs to make sure that they're suitable for a market.
So you teach people to be lab analysts and other things, and you were telling me that sometimes people see TV programs about labs and things, and gosh, they get interested and call you. What type of qualifications or skills, someone that's watching us, what would their interest be to be a good candidate for your program?
So if you're really interested in science, if you like to work independently, or in a laboratory, you'll work with others as well, but it's a more independent type job. If I tell students, if they like to cook, if you enjoy cooking, working in a lab is very similar to cooking. You have your protocol that you follow, you have all your reagents that you use, just like you have all your ingredients in your recipe for cooking, so it's very similar.
Wow. And the other thing that you've shared with me is you are training students specifically on the same types of equipment and doing the same procedures that they go to work for right after they walk across the stage with their diploma. Are your graduates in high demand?
They're in very high demand, and we've worked very closely with our local industry to make sure that we're training our students specifically on exactly what they'll be doing in the lab. And we've purchased the same equipment they use. We use the same software that they use. They've even shared with us specific protocols that they use, and we do the same thing. We even do test on over-the-counter drugs that we purchase at CVS.
Wow.
So that they know is that when they go in, they know exactly what they're doing and feel confident working in the lab.
Wow. And you know, something else that I think is important is that these are small classrooms, a lot of one-on-one attention. And if anyone would like to find out more about the biotechnology program, anytime during the show that you have any questions about anything we talk about Pitt Community College, if you'd like to arrange a meeting with Christy or you'd like to take a tour of campus, all you have to do on your phone is text Pitt CC, P-I-T-T-C-C, to 51555. That's Pitt CC to 51555, and someone will get back to you within 2 business days. And certainly would encourage you to come visit the campus. It's a beautiful location, and you're in a beautiful new facility. Tell people about your building and your facilities.
Yeah, so we just recently moved into the new Williams Science Building in fall of 2018. So we've been there about a year and a half. All the labs are brand new. We purchased new equipment. It's all state of the art. And I've had vendors from that sell equipment come in and say they've never seen labs as beautiful as the ones that we have in our building.
Christy, you were telling me a great story about one of your students that I'd like you to share with the people watching here today. A success story of someone that came to you.
Yeah, so I have one student that graduated from our program a while back who is now, with just a 2-year degree, she's now in charge of an entire division at a local pharmaceutical industry, and she is now calling me asking for graduates for resumes to hire from my program. She's high enough where she's hiring students. And she's, you know, to me, a great success story is to have students with just a 2-year degree that make twice what I make, and I have my master's degree. So it's great.
Let's talk about salaries. Everyone's interested in if you're training for something in particular. What's the salary range for your graduates?
So most of our students starting out will make between $35,000 and $40,000 a year. There's a lot of opportunity for advancement. A little bit of experience goes a long way. So most students within their first year of an employment will get a raise and a promotion.
Now, are there internships that are available in biotechnology?
Yes.
So while you're going to school, you can work at a local pharmaceutical company?
Exactly, and in fact, currently 2 of our students that are going to be graduating in May are already working as interns, and a 3rd student has an interview in a couple of weeks. So,
Christy, I would imagine that if you're working as an intern and they liked you, you might get hired.
Oh yeah, it's very rare for interns not to get hired.
Yeah.
They're putting a lot of time and effort in training you. It's an investment for them as well, and so they want to keep you.
And with Pitt Community College, being in Pitt County, being in Greenville, Winterville, there are some pharmaceutical manufacturing plants and facilities within 10 or 15 minutes, so it's not a long drive if you have an internship and then you need to come back for class.
Yes, that's
Wow.
true.
What a great program. What advice do you give to your students that come in?
So the best advice I have to give to them is to just study hard, work hard, pay attention, and have fun and while you're learning, and you know, always come and ask us about the companies and internship opportunities, and you know, keep your eye open for those opportunities.
Christy, the other thing we want to mention for employers that are watching this show today, if you're interested in some of the graduates at Pitt Community College in Christy's program or any program that we have, text Pitt CC to 51555. We'd love to speak with you. And or if you need additional training, we have employers that come to us that need training of their employees, and we can create programs for that as well. Susan Nobles, Tell us, you were telling me an interesting story about Christy. Christy actually started this program.
Christy is very modest. She did help us start this program, and she's been a master at writing grants that have helped us to be able to purchase wonderful equipment and to do some things we would not have been able to do. She has worked collaboratively with other people with biotechnology throughout the state and certainly from ECU, and we really appreciate what you're doing, Christy. And I know, because I enjoy watching your graduates go across the stage, when they go across that stage, they're ready to go to work, and that's because of you.
Thank you.
Now, as we mentioned in the segment with Pat earlier, there are what we call articulation agreements, where your credits that you take, classes that you take at Pitt Community College, those credits can transfer to most colleges or universities within the 16 college and university system. How does that work with biotechnology?
Right. So the biotechnology degree is an AAS, an Associate in Applied Science degree. And typically that's what we call a terminal degree. But in our case, the biotechnology degree is a little different because there's so many college transfer courses already built into the curriculum because it's such a science-heavy curriculum. Right. So we have 2 math courses, 2 biology, 2 chemistry, and of course Englishes, and all those things transfer automatically. And then also a lot of the biotechnology lab courses are similar to science courses at the university level, and so it's very easy to create articulation agreements with universities with our degree. It's easy to come up with 60+ credit hours that can transfer. So we already have articulation agreements in place with East Carolina University, North Carolina Central, UNC Pembroke also has a BS in biotechnology that our students can get.
Well, we're out of time, but please give us a call and stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and tune in for another edition of Education on Call.